Now let's move on to some specific seeding trends, which Megan Rochester has done extensive research on. These trends are always very interesting to hear about and to be reminded of. We see them over and over again, year in and year out. Megan Rochester, what do you have for us in terms of notable seeding trends to be aware of?
All right, so we've already been talking about this NC State LSU matchup, so let's just jump into the 8 versus 9.
Okay.
Started off with the excitement. The win margin between these two seedings is plus 0.6 to the 8th seed. That means an average final score between these two seedings is 69.9 to 69.3. I mean, we've got some crazy matchups, I think, right here. Which one of these do you think it's going to come down to the final point, the final second, overtime? What are we looking at here?
Cincinnati, Purdue. First of all, Cincinnati plays low-scoring games. Purdue, when they do get involved when they do play another team that favors slow-paced, defense-oriented games, they can play very low-scoring games as well. I could see this one easily being like 54-53 with like 45 seconds to go. Cincinnati, Purdue. That's probably one where you might even want to consider one of the team that you like on a teaser, because that one has low scoring and close written all over it. Right, guys?
Yeah, I think you're right there. In terms of picking the actual game, I just throw out that Purdue, not very good away from home, 2-9 when on the road facing top 100 teams in terms of RPI. So not a big fan there. I think Oklahoma State, Oregon is one that's going to be close as well. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but if we're talking about close games, I think that's going to be, a slugfest, two teams going up and down. Oklahoma State's got that great kid, what's his name, LeBryant Nash, I think, and Oregon's got Pac-12 Player of the Year. High-scoring game, close, entertaining, I think is the story of that one.
All right, so here's my thought. I'm going to disagree with you again, Dave Golokhov, but I always get burned when I disagree with you. But down the stretch of the regular season, Oregon was killing it, right? They were killing it against the spread. They were winning a lot of games straight up as an underdog. And, heading into the Pac-12 tournament, a lot of people were expecting them to do well. I was myself, and they did. They ran to a buzzsaw against Arizona, but before that, they were killing it just like everyone expected. Oklahoma State, kind of the opposite. They were a bad bet down the stretch. Now, the one difference that you can make, the argument that you can make, is that the Big 12 in general is just an awesome conference this year, very balanced. Every team was either good or great, and the Pac-12 not as tough, except for Arizona. Even Utah faded down the stretch. So do you think that maybe Oregon might be looking a little bit better here because they played in a much easier conference? You obviously like Oklahoma State here, Dave, right?
No, I think Oregon wins. You know what? Maybe you convinced me. I think maybe I was a little bit off base. I was just the sexy matchup between those two players. But no, I would have to side with Oregon. I think pretty much everything that you said. I don't need to repeat it, but yeah. I think Oregon does get the edge because Oklahoma State is not a good rebounding team. The teams that Oregon struggles with tend to be like size, interior. As we saw against Arizona, I don't think Oklahoma State has that.